You're eating clean, training consistently, you've cut the takeaways, dialed in your routine, maybe even started tracking. And yet, your body still feels heavy and puffy. Your stomach feels wider, the scale won't budge, or worse, it's increasing. It makes zero sense. And that's exactly what we're unpacking today. Spoiler alert, it's not because you failed. It's because your body is adapting to something deeper, and nobody taught you how to work with that. Welcome back to the Get Buff with Reets podcast, the podcast for strong women who want real results without sacrificing their careers, their families, or their peace. I'm Reets, your go-to coach for body recomposition, strength, mindset, and hormones. In today's episode, it's one that's going to hit home for a lot of you, especially if you've ever found yourself staring at your body in the mirror thinking, what more can I do? So let's get one thing straight. Your effort isn't the problem. When your body starts changing shape and fat starts accumulating around your midsection, your hips, or back, despite you training, eating better, and doing everything right on paper, it's a red flag that something's changing in your internal environment. The culprits are often elevated cortisol, which is our stress hormone, developing an insulin resistance, decreased progesterone, or shifting estrogen. Hello, perimenopause. These hormonal shifts signal your body to start storing fat in different places, even if you're in a caloric deficit. So you might feel like your body's starting to work against you, but actually it's trying to protect you from what it's seeing as a threat. Things like stress, underfueling, poor recovery. I see this in so many women, especially high performers, mums, entrepreneurs, women who are doing more and seeing less. This isn't about needing more discipline. This is about collecting the data. Let's talk about what's happening behind the scenes in your body. Hormones are constantly sending signals. And when stress, sleep, and recovery are thrown off, it disrupts everything from your appetite to fat storage. Let's start with cortisol. I feel like that's something people are talking about a lot. So, cortisol is your stress hormone. When you're constantly under pressure, whether that's from your job, overtraining, not eating enough, your cortisol level will stay elevated. And when that happens, your body starts to hold on to fat, especially in areas around your belly, your back, and face. You might have heard of the term moon face or cortisol face. This is what people are talking about here. It also breaks down muscle and will spike your blood sugar to keep you in that fight or flight mode. Your body thinks it's protecting you, but instead you're feeling inflamed, bloated, and frustrated. Let's reframe it. If your body thinks that you're in survival mode, it's not going to prioritize fat loss. It's going to prioritize protection, or what it sees as protection. So now let's bring in two other key players, leptin and ghrelin, your hunger and fullness hormones. So leptin will tell your brain, I'm full, and ghrelin will tell your brain, I'm hungry. So when you're under eating, not sleeping enough, or stuck in a diet mode, your ghrelin rises and your leptin will fall. So what will happen is you will constantly feel hungry. You will crave things like sugar and never quite feel satisfied. It's not a lack of willpower, it's biology. Let's reframe it. So you're not failing your diet, your hormones are essentially trying to keep you alive. Then we have insulin. This is the hormone that will manage our blood sugar. Chronic stress, erratic eating, and low muscle mass can cause insulin resistance. That means that your cells stop responding efficiently to insulin. So, more glucose is then stored as fat, especially around your belly and midsection. It is one of the most common causes of unexplained weight gain for women over 30. Insulin resistance isn't about sugar, it's about your body losing trust in how fuel is being used. We also need to talk about estrogen and progesterone. They really are the silent shapers of our body. When estrogen levels dominate, either because it's too high or because your progesterone level is too low, you may experience bloating, mood swings, stubborn fat, and water retention. Progesterone is your calming, balancing hormone, and it's the first to drop during perimenopause. That's why your body and emotions start to feel different, even if your routine may not have changed. When progesterone drops and estrogen dominates, fat starts to show up in places you didn't expect, and your emotional resilience will take a hit. Finally, let's touch on thyroid. If you're gaining fat rapidly, you feel cold, tired, foggy, and your routine is tight, get your thyroid checked. Hypothyroidism is really common in women, and it impacts metabolism, digestion, and energy production. Fat gain isn't always just about what you're eating, it's about the internal signals your body is getting. And now you can start adapting with your body, not against it. So, what can you actually do to start turning things around? First and foremost, you need to build muscle. Resistance training isn't just about aesthetics. Muscle is metabolically active, meaning it helps regulate your hormones, boost insulin sensitivity, and increase your resting calorie burn. Progressive overload really should be your focus. Ditch the cardio obsession and start lifting with intention. Next, you need to balance your blood sugar. One of the simplest but most effective ways to do this is eating protein with every meal. Avoid skipping meals and don't let yourself get to that point where you're starving. That only leads to blood sugar crashes and binge cycles. Stable energy equals a stable mood, stable hunger, and better fat loss. Managing stress can't be optional for you anymore. It needs to be essential. This doesn't mean you need to go quit your job or go live in the woods with the rabbits and butterflies. But incorporating things like breath work, daily walks, getting some sunshine, journaling, or even reducing your screen time can make a massive difference to your nervous system. A calm body that can self regulate and let go. Sleep is another non negotiable. You need to be getting a minimum of 7 to 9 hours. Not just sleeping 7 to 9 hours, but getting good quality sleep. This means winding down properly, cutting screens at least 30 to 60 minutes before bed, and keeping a consistent sleep and wake routine, even on weekends. Poor sleep will disrupt every single hormone that we've just spoken about. And finally, start tracking your symptoms, not just your calories. Notice when your cravings hit hardest. Track your energy dips, your mood swings, and bloating. Your body is always communicating with you, you just need to learn how to listen. The more you track, the more data that you gather, the more you'll understand. And that leads to smarter, personalized decisions that will actually stick and make a change. It's not about hustling harder or doing more, it's about working smarter and listening to your body. Let's wrap this up with the truth that most women don't hear often enough. Your body isn't broken. There is nothing wrong with you. Your body is simply evolving and changing. Look at these changes as signals. Signals that your hormones, your nervous system, Your routines, they now all need a different level of support. Most of us were never taught how to respond to this phase of life with compassion or strategy. So we default to this notion of shame that something is wrong with us. So instead, we push harder, we restrict more, we punish our bodies more. And then when it doesn't work, we blame ourselves. But you don't have to live in that loop anymore. When you can get a grasp on understanding what's happening to your body internally, you can finally stop fighting your body and start leading it. If this episode spoke to you and made you feel seen, understood, or even just a little bit relieved, then know that this is exactly the kind of work that I do with my clients. Inside our coaching program with the Buff Rewire method, we don't just chase fat loss. We build a body that actually works with your hormones, your lifestyle, and your mindset. So if you're done guessing and feel ready to take the next steps with personalized support, DM me Rewire on Instagram at GetBuffWithReets. And let's chat about your goals. You don't have to keep doing this alone, and you're not meant to. If this episode really hit home for you, check out the Buff Hub for more resources that will help you rebalance your body. I'll catch you in the next one.